Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me here at the First Alert Desk. My name's Karli Barnett. We want to give you a look at some of the stories that we are following for you this evening. We hope you are getting ready for the holidays. We know this is a busy time right now. Some of you may be out and about doing your last-minute Christmas shopping, doing some of that last-minute cooking. Of course, we have Christmas and Hanukkah coming up this week. We hope you have a really wonderful, safe time with your families. But in the meantime, we do want to let you know some of the stories that we are following for you. Keep in mind the news is always on AtlantaNewsFirst.com and our Atlanta News First app. So if you are traveling, if you are going to be out and about, maybe you have people coming to visit you and your house is full of people right now, you can't sit and watch the news, a really great time to download our Atlanta News First app because you can get breaking news updates sent directly to your phone, and you can also get those ever important weather updates. We know a lot of you are going to have questions about your forecast for those who are traveling, for those who are out and about. And in just a minute, we're going to have First Alert meteorologist Cutter Martin come up here so that he can give you a rundown of all of that. But also this weekend, there's a First Alert weather day on Sunday where you or family may be driving back from your destination. So without further ado, I do want to get to one of our top stories for you this evening, and that is a Georgia Power rate hike that is starting here in a few weeks. So if you are a Georgia Power customer listening right now, get ready that you're going to have to pay more each month. The third straight year, your energy bill is going to increase again. This was approved by the state. It's going into effect here in a matter of weeks. And we had Atlanta News First reporter Patrick Quinn. He learned that it's going to help maintain the power grid system statewide. It's going to strengthen the electric grid. So it's a positive thing, but of course, it comes at a cost to you.
Here in Atlanta, if you feel like your Georgia Power bill has gone up over the last few years, you're not wrong, and it's set to increase one more time in January. A 3.5% rate increase was just approved by the state. That equates to roughly $5.85 on your bill every single month. Why the increase? Georgia Power says this projected $306 million collected from customers. This money will help strengthen the electric grid system across the state. That includes those big wires you see and maintenance of the power poles and the local system in your neighborhood. In short, Georgia Power is looking to be proactive to help prevent blackouts and other issues. The Georgia Public Service Commission unanimously approved this rate increase. Today in a statement, Georgia Power, they recognized the rate increase but said still electric bills here in the state are on average 15% lower than the national average since 1990. This rate increase goes into effect in January.
So make sure you keep that in mind and budget accordingly as we look ahead to the new year. Now, we do also want to point out, before I get to that, in Patrick Quinn's report, noting that these were planned increases from Georgia Power, and the state decided to increase your bill each year rather than all at once in 2022 to try to ease the pain on your wallet. So yes, even though it's going up, keep in mind this could have been done all in one fell swoop in 2022. So this is a gradual increase. This isn't a surprise. We've known this is coming, but again, we just want to make sure this is a heads up to you. If you want to read more about it, of course, you can always do that on AtlantaNewsFirst.com. In the last month of his presidency, President Joe Biden is making good on a promise that he made back in 2020, and he has issued the largest round of pardons and commutations ever as his presidency winds down. It included several people with ties to Georgia, including some inmates on death row. Our Atlanta News First reporter Doug Reardon reports more on that.
It's a great Christmas present.
For Atlanta-based attorney Jeffrey Ertl,
I was almost in tears.
Monday came with good news. 2 days before Christmas, he learned that two of his clients, one in Virginia and one here in Georgia, are no longer on death row. President Joe Biden, in the largest act of presidential clemency ever, wiped 37 of 40 names off the federal execution list, theirs included.
We're not celebrating the crimes. We're celebrating that we're not taking more lives.
Ertl's client, Meyer Brown, was convicted of killing a postal worker in Liberty County in 2002.
What people need to know is they're humans, too. They're humans that have flaws. We all have flaws. Sometimes theirs are more compounded.
There are so many things that are wrong with the death penalty system.
Joya Thornton is executive director of FLOC, Faith Leaders of Color Coalition. For 2 years, they've been lobbying Biden to move away from the death penalty, even visiting him at the White House.
We brought victims' family members who often disarm that argument that victims are seeking death for their families. But that is quite the contrary.
Thornton also notes that this year marked the 200th case of a death row inmate being exonerated after being later found innocent. Not to mention, she says death row is expensive and there could be better avenues for justice.
Those resources could be used to offer services, therapy to families, to give people's children money to college, sustain their lifestyle. Those are the things that we believe offer more help to victims than just executing an individual.
All right, and meantime, President-elect Donald Trump called that move today, quote, abhorrent and a, quote, slap in the face to victims and their families. Do keep in mind these commutations are permanent. They can't be undone once President-elect Donald Trump takes office. And then this next story that we want to bring you to, unfortunately, some sad news. You may remember this from last week. A mass shooting that took place at a private school in Madison, Wisconsin. One of those teachers, the teacher who was killed, has connections here to Metro Atlanta. She actually grew up in the Metro Atlanta area, graduated from Kennesaw State University. We were talking about Erin West. We have her picture here for you. She was laid to rest today. Both West and a 14-year-old student were killed that day at Abundant Life Christian School. West was remembered for her love of family, her church, and her love of teaching. Friends spoke on how her time growing up in Georgia shaped her life, allowing her to meet her husband, Jack. She leaves behind 3 daughters. And police say it was 15-year-old Natalie or Samantha Rupno who attacked the school before fatally shooting herself. And here we have some images from inside Erin West's service, her husband speaking there. So certainly wishing all of the best to her loved ones, to her friends, to her family, who are just having to navigate this incredibly difficult time. We'll go ahead and take you back out here live. Ahead tonight, we do have some things. I don't have any video to show you yet, but our reporter Bridget Spencer, she talks about, speaking of legacies and family, she takes us to Locust Grove, where a bookstore is being made to continue on to remember one woman, the legacy that she leaves behind with her love of books, her love of reading. You can join us a little bit later on this evening. I see some of you are joining us now. Hey, Wesley, watching from Ackworth, thanks for joining us. Angela, and hey, I see you guys are talking about that Georgia Power story. Glad that we could provide you with that information. We just want you to be aware. Just want you to stay on top of all of these things, because we know, hey, 2025, it's a new year. We know that there's going to be new goals and new plans, and we want you to be able to prepare accordingly. And speaking of being prepared, let's go ahead and take you live outside. This is a live look at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. It is the world's busiest airport, and you can see the control tower lit up in red and green there. We see someone taking off somewhere right now.
Where are they going?
You know what? Somewhere on vacation.
Bora Bora.
Ooh, wouldn't that be nice? Cutter and I are not in Bora Bora. We are lucky enough to be right here in Metro Atlanta with you all.
It's a blessing.
It is. But we know that many people may be having loved ones coming into Hartsfield-Jackson.
Yes.
Maybe you're headed out there. Let this be a reminder to go ahead and leave earlier than you anticipate, because we were all just talking about it, and traffic is a mess out there, folks. Whether you're traveling by the skies or by the streets, just be prepared. And here's the man to help you do that. First Alert Meteorologist Cutter Martin.
Yeah, we're trying. One way to stay ahead of the game is to know when the weather might slow you down even more so, in addition to everyone hitting the roads at the same time. And that is going to be Sunday, again, a First Alert weather day. We have declared Sunday a new First Alert weather day. And we are going to be watching Sunday, back half of the weekend, for the potential of more impactful weather. We're going to go into that here in just a moment. First, though, again, we're just getting our weather graphic set up, getting everything good to go. So just bear with me here, and I will have everything up here momentarily. In fact, we have it for you right now, a look at your upcoming First Alert Weather Day. That is Sunday, though there could still be some timing changes here. Forecast models continuing to come into better agreement, agreeing now that Sunday is really the only day with widespread rain potential in the First Alert forecast. So we could see that bleed over into Saturday evening, but it was, at one point looking like even Christmas Day, we could have some widespread showers, and now the forecast models have kind of backed away from that, and it is looking more and more likely that Sunday, maybe late Saturday into the first half of Sunday, is going to be the time period with the most impactful weather. Hence, First Alert Weather Day, but specifically Sunday. That is when rain looks to be most widespread and heaviest, and there probably will be some thunderstorms embedded within this kind of blob, we'll call it, of rain, kind of a widespread rain event moving in Saturday night into Sunday. So again, thank you for tuning in and for watching. I want to say hello to Wesley Millsap, who is watching on YouTube. Retired MCO 1199 on YouTube. Hello to you, Angela Moore, and Real Talk on YouTube. Thank you, everyone, for commenting, for contributing to this weather conversation. A reminder, if you do have any weather questions, comments, concerns, Atlanta News First is the account that we're streaming on YouTube. Literally, I'm watching the comment feed right now, but you can also text us, 470-777-9263. Again, that is 470-777-WANF. Numbers corresponding to those letters would be 9, 2, 6, and 3. So as we get deeper into the forecast, if you do have any questions, comments, concerns, again, it's an easy ask. No worries. And if I do miss your question, I'm going to go back through after the duration of this stream and make sure that I do address anything that I may have missed. You can also reach out to not just me, but any member of the First Alert Weather Team on social media. First Alert Chief Meteorologist Jennifer Valdez, First Alert Meteorologist Patrick Pete, Rodney Harris, Ella Dorsey, Courtney Jacobazi, all here to keep you updated. And in the short term, next 12 to 24 hours, it is the chill that we're tracking here for you, down to 41 at Hartsfield-Jackson, Atlanta International Airport, down to 30 LJ, 31 Helen, 35 Carrollton, mid-30s in LaGrange, and with temperatures now in the mid-30s in many communities, clear skylight breeze. Willing to bet we're starting to see some frost develop out there. Maybe if you haven't wandered out to the driveway here recently, or if you are about to go look at Christmas lights around the neighborhood, probably noticing a little bit of frost there at the top of the vehicles. We've had that kind of form pretty early in the evening the past couple of nights. It's set up just really favorable for that to occur. Out the door tomorrow morning, it is going to be even colder. Of course, surprise, surprise, right? Temperatures back to below freezing levels just about everywhere, though. Hartsfield-Jackson, Atlanta International Airport, of course, that is the official climate site, reporting site for the city of Atlanta, forecasting a low of 34. But up the road in the mountains, LJ 24, Carrollton 27, 27 LaGrange, 28 Covington, so many spots in the 20s. Not only that, but many spots recording a hard freeze tomorrow morning. It probably will be frosty, a frosty start to Christmas Eve. So get ready for that. It'll be pretty. We're going to wake up to sunshine, but cold and frosty yet again out the door in the morning. But in general, a quicker warm-up tomorrow. In fact, I think tomorrow afternoon will top out 10 or so degrees warmer than this afternoon. Made it up to about 50 today in the city of Atlanta, forecasting mid to upper 50s tomorrow afternoon in Atlanta. And we're, well above freezing, approaching 40 by 9 a.m. Even the lunch hour, likely just north of 50 degrees. Keep in mind, today in the lunch hour, we were in the lower 40s, and we had a bit of a stronger breeze, despite the sunshine. Pretty day, but it was cold out there across North Georgia and Metro Atlanta. And I think tomorrow will be just a bit more pleasant. In fact, looking at stunning Christmas Eve weather across North Georgia and Metro Atlanta, with temperatures peaking in the mid to upper 50s across the metro, 59 in Covington, the same in Eatonton, 60 in LaGrange, 59 Thomaston, mid to upper 50s, kind of the rule from North Metro on up into the mountains. That comes with sunshine. That comes with only a light breeze in the First Alert forecast. Gorgeous Christmas Eve to go look at Christmas lights, whether in your neighborhood or up in Woodstock at Dixie Speedway. Magic of Lights starting at 6 p.m. It'll run through 9 p.m. Forecast looks great. Mostly clear. Temperatures cooling from the 50s back into the 40s. And a reminder, you can look at ticket prices, magicoflights.com. We also do have that link at AtlantaNewsFirst.com and in the Atlanta News First app. Ticket pricing you can buy there. You can also enter in the code TCFF into your kind of ticket slot. You'll be prompted to do so, and $5 of every ticket purchased with that code entered will go to Cherokee Fire, again, benefiting first responders heading into this holiday season, basically already there. First Alert 7-day forecast, similar temperatures Wednesday, more clouds, isolated rain chance, Christmas evening. So not Christmas Eve, but Christmas evening, mainly after 8 p.m. Christmas Day, on into the wee hours of Thursday morning, the beginning of Kwanzaa. And the Thursday-Friday period is interesting because we're actually going to have some cooler air filter back into North Georgia and Metro Atlanta. Temperatures do go down before they start to go back up Saturday, and that's when we start to bring in and elevate that rain chance. Scattered showers and thunderstorms, but likely late in the day. And I would say models are most consistent with this being a Sunday impact, but there's still a little bit of wiggle room being 5 to 6 days out where we could have to move up that arrival time of rain, thunder, and lightning. And if that happens, we'll add on the First Alert weather day to Saturday. But right now, the main impact to your day, to your plans, at least potentially, looks to be on Sunday, and then quickly drying out, remaining warm too. High temperatures in the mid-60s next Monday with a much drier First Alert forecast. Want to thank you for tuning in and for watching. No questions on YouTube, though. Kamar, Wesley, Real Talk, Angela Moore, retired MCO 1199, Wesley Millsap again. Thank you all for tuning in, for watching, for commenting. Next Atlanta News First Plus stream will be tomorrow morning, but we will be on TV a little bit later. First Alert meteorologist Patrick Pete and Karli Barnett will be on air, Peachtree TV, Atlanta CW at 10 p.m., and then back on for the late news tonight, Atlanta News First on WANF at 11 p.m. Hoping you have a wonderful rest of your evening. We'll keep you updated in the First Alert weather app and at AtlantaNewsFirst.com. Another plane taking off. Gorgeous evening, but cold. Dress warmly and get ready for changes later this week. Sunday, a rainy, potentially stormy First Alert weather day.